Hey, you're watching Half Asian Tarot Queen. I'm Elisa. Thanks for checking out the channel. I'm doing a lot more readings this week. There have just been more readings coming out. So anyways, I'm starting with the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot to get some overall energies for this reading. I want to tell you, if you're new to the channel, thanks for checking it out. I put kind of related readings up here. And then I don't arrange the readings according to date or zodiac sign. It's more like storylines. The readings are all kind of timeless, and they're all kind of collective consciousness readings. I put links to the playlist down there. I am not really trying to be a tarot reader. I'm a vegan cheesemaker, and I have been on hiatus because of a family emergency, and so I've been doing these readings, but yeah, because I love the tarot. I kind of stopped reading the comments though, because there's definitely some nasty trolls out there on the internet. But I mean, there's a lot of really nice ones too, but I was really deterred by the trolly messages. Okay, so at the bottom of we got the Page of Swords. So this is like a message of truth or clarity coming in, and it could be from someone who's like an immature energy, because it's like a page. But it can be like a stalker kind of energy, you know. I mean, there's all these like birds up here that kind of represent the truth, you know. But this can be like a stalker kind of energy too. There's actually a whole thread on the channel called Stalkers that you can access in the playlist down below if you want. There's a whole lot of readings with that topic, but I'm gonna see how this relates to the other cards. So we have the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Seven of Wands, we have the Page of Cups, we have the Ten of Swords, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. So it's like a lot of up and down this week. But we have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is an earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but it's also like very grounded, financially stable, loving, nurturing queen. So she seems to be the centerpiece of this reading, and it's like she's having to like stand her ground about something, maybe defend herself, or maybe defend like somebody's kind of like maybe coming after her, or isn't really she's having to stand her ground against maybe this stalker energy, you know. Like maybe there's somebody out there who's kind of resentful or jealous, or somehow wants something that this Queen of Pentacles has, you know. There's like a message of love coming in. So we have a Page of Cups as well. So maybe she's defending against that. Like maybe she's not interested, you know. Or maybe it's a peace offering, because the next card we have is the Ten of Swords. So this is a card of like, it's kind of like an end to suffering. Like this person is just like, there's 10 swords in his back. There's like nowhere else to go. They're all the way down at rock bottom. Like you can only come up from here, you know. So it's just like maybe this is a peace offering, but maybe because there's been so much pain and like suffering that's been caused, maybe the Queen of Pentacles is a little bit defensive, or just a little on guard, you know, because she's like not really wanting to like put herself in this situation again, you know. But there's this brand new beginning, this offering that's happening as well, you know, and this is like a tangible offer. It could be like a job offer, like inheritance, or some kind of money or something like that coming in for this Queen of Pentacles. So, you know, it's like there's a lot of different ways that could be, you could take it, you know. It's just like maybe there's somebody who wants is vying for this, you know, and she's kind of having to like stand her ground against that. And maybe they're, you know, she's getting some sweet messages, but she doesn't really trust them because, you know, this has happened in the past, you know. That's one way to interpret it. Or maybe, you know, it's like a love story, you know, like someone's coming in with this message, but she's just sort of like a little, like, not super open to it because, like, maybe this person's a player, they've kind of broken her heart in the past, you know, she's not really necessarily, like, open to it, you know, and maybe she's sort of like, oh, like, now that I'm, like, you know, like, Miss Moneybags, like, now you come back around, you know, and so she's, like, a little skeptical, you know. That's another way it could be interpreted. But either way, there's this, like, stalker kind of energy around. So, like, there could be somebody that's, like, jealous that this Queen of Pentacles is moving on up, or somebody maybe, like, regretting that they missed the boat, you know, like, when they had the chance. Like, there's a couple different ways you could look at it. But anyways, so that's an overall energy. But then, when I go to the animal spirit, I get a really interesting message. So what's interesting is that all the cards that came out, well, for one thing, they, like, really match really beautifully. But another thing that's interesting is that they're all birds. Which, for me, that's really meaningful because if you watch this channel very much, you know that, like, my father passed away last year. And ever since, like, I felt like I've been getting all these messages from him, like, through birds. Because he was a pilot. So it's, like, interesting to me that all of these messages are birds. It's almost like a message from my dad. But, okay, so Swan. So this is a creative, elegant energy, you know, and it's just like, and there's like, it's like grace, you know, it's like someone who's just like sort of like in this flow, and there's this creative gift that the swan has to bring forward, you know, but like, it's almost like you need to get to this point of stillness for that gift to surface, you know, like, on this, in the center of this Lake Placid, you know, and then, like, once you get there, this, like, you know, this gift is just gonna, like, emerge, you know. But interestingly, we also have the owl. So this is a very ominous, you know, and it signals, like, it's like a foreshadowing of, like, abundance, or like some, like, stroke of good fortune, like, coming someone's way, you know. So it's, and then we have the Nightingale. So this is like kind of like having the courage to speak what's in your heart, you know, and like put a voice to it. So it's like almost like this, someone's got this like creative gift that's like coming to them, that like, it's very ominous, like could bring like some great treasures or like abundance if you have the courage to speak it, you know, to put voice to it and put it out there. And that's kind of, that's an interesting message. Like, I mean, that really speaks to me. But I'm going to keep going with the other decks to see what other perspective we get. So, okay. Maybe I'll go to the Urban Tarot next. So we get the sun at the bottom again. So this is like a really positive omen. Like there's like all these cards of like abundance on the horizon, you know, like maybe coming to this person, the Queen of Pentacles. Because the sun is the best card in the deck, you know. It's just like happiness, abundance, fertility, like everything. But then we have, so we have justice. We have indolence. We have the Empress. We have dominion. And we have the Hanged Man. So this is really interesting because this speaks to like, you know, having to right some kind of wrong or some sort of unjust situation. And right after that we have indolence, which is like all about sort of like kind of having to speak your truth. Like maybe you're in a situation that's not really serving you, or you're not really getting any kind of emotional gratification from it, you know. Maybe it's like an abusive situation and like it's time to walk away. Like you're just not in it anymore, you know. And so this is like maybe leading to a new beginning. This is the Empress. This is like a maternal sort of energy. So it could be involving some sort of maternal energy, but like there is some sort of injustice here that someone needs to walk away from. And the next card we have, it's the Two of Wands, which in this deck has an interesting meaning. It's dominion, you know. So it's in the normal reading, it's sort of like a fork in the road where you have to, it's like a decision point where you have to like make a choice one way or the other. But in this road, it's more of like sort of dominating other people in like not necessarily a positive way, like kind of like an abusive way, you know. So it's like somebody is in an abusive situation that they need to break free from and get like a fresh start. I mean, that's kind of how it looks. And in order to do that, they're going to need to maybe speak their truth and walk away from whatever this situation is and get some perspective, you know, a different perspective. Like this is the Hanged Man. So taking like a bird's eye view, which is interesting considering all the birds, and like getting perspective on a situation, but also maybe having to like sacrifice something. And maybe it's this situation that's gonna need to be sacrificed in order to like get to this happiness and fulfillment, you know. Like someone needs to break free from some sort of injustice that's holding them back, some sort of dominion, some sort of abusive situation that needs to like it needs to be brought to light, you know. So then when we go to the mystical shaman oracle, we have the spiral at the bottom. So this is a card of ascension. It's a card of like cycles that happen in life, you know, like there might be a recurring cycle that keeps happening over and over and over, and you know, it's like you break free of it and then it's like you find yourself in that same situation again. It's like different players, maybe a different circumstance or different people, but it's kind of like this same situation until you kind of get the insight of like why you internally might be attracting that situation so that you can like become empowered and shift it. And then that's when you ascend to the next stage of your life, you know. So it's interesting because it really goes with the messages here. We have the lower world, the crow, the sorcerer, the child, and we have the seer. So this is really interesting because the lower world speaks to sort of like taking a journeying into the underworld and sort of like recovering lost parts of ourselves or parts of our soul that we've like disowned or dissociated from because maybe they were like too painful to acknowledge. So this is like really all about sort of like integrating and acknowledging like our shadow elements, you know. So it's like taking the time to like heal these wounds. And then we have the crow, which is a card of like being in alignment with the truth, and followed by the sorcerer, which is this is a card of like having like a distorted sense of reality and like maybe carrying around some sort of guilt or shame or some sort of dark energy, and it's like manifesting in the world by like hurting other people. So it's almost like there's this painful situation that it's like too painful to acknowledge that we've been like sort of like ignoring, you know. And this situation or part of ourselves that we've dissociated from, it's like the distortion that it's creating in our reality is causing pain. It's causing suffering, you know, and it's coming to light. Like, the truth is coming out about whatever the situation is, and it's leading to this redemption, you know, which this is a card of second chances, and it's a card of redemption. It's a card of starting over with a clean slate and like a beginner's mind. So it's like whatever this distortion is being healed. It's being brought to the truth, you know. Someone's being led through that, and this speaks to like following your own inner guidance, and that's gonna like lead the way, you know, and that you can trust that. So it's almost like this Queen of Pentacles is like, this Justice card falls right over her. So like there's like maybe some unjust situation that's befallen this Queen of Pentacles, which I feel like this storyline has come up before, especially in this thread called Phoenix. But whatever it is, it's just been so painful that it's almost like she's like dissociated from it, you know. But like the truth is coming to light about this situation, and it's like she needs to really stand her ground and like walk away from whatever this situation is, you know. And it's interesting because this falls right under the owl, you know, like there's a gift that's like, it's almost like it's being blocked by whatever this toxic situation is. And she needs to walk away from it in order to unlock this gift for herself, you know? So, it's like she needs to speak her truth. And it's interesting because this Dominion is right under this Ten of Swords. So that she can like have this redemption from whatever this Dominion, this toxic situation is. And in doing so, she's going to unlock this gift, this creative insight, you know, that's going to create this beautiful new opportunity for her, you know. But she has to speak her truth, and she has to like put it out there. And that's what's going to unlock the gift, you know. So it looks like it's just like, it's kind of a tale of like facing your fears and speaking your truth. And like maybe she's just like not wanted to deal with it before because it's just like too much. It's just too much drama, and she's just like, no, you know, like really, do I have to like call out this like stalker energy, or you know, it could play out in a number of different ways, but it's just like so much drama that she just hasn't really wanted to deal with it. So it's just been dragging it around in her like underworld, you know, not realizing that she just keeps attracting that same situation to herself, you know, until she like speaks truth to it. That's what's going to liberate her from this cycle, you know. That's what's going to unlock this gift, and in doing so, it's going to bring this great abundance and treasure to her. So, wow. Okay, so 2 cards that came out. So, Sacred Reverence and Waking the Lion. This is really interesting because the lion came out in the Animal Spirit deck yesterday. So, I'll have to link that reading from yesterday here because I think that might be relevant. But the Sacred Reverence, I'm not going to read the whole cards just because it's going to, but the key concept, offer the truth that spirit is everywhere, inspiration coming through you as a result of reverence, joyful living, exploring possibilities with curiosity, spiritual passion, manifesting from the starting point of the realm of spirit. So, I mean, this really speaks to this, the grace and the spiritual gift of the Swan, you know. And then I'll read you the main message of Waking the Lion too, just because. Okay, yeah, so this is all about boldness and the courage to move forward even without knowing the way, facing that which is difficult or painful, the audacity to step into the unknown. So yeah, there's this beautiful gift waiting for this Queen of Pentacles, but she has to be bold, and she has to speak her truth, and she has to face her fears, and that's the path, you know, like the only way out is through. So it looks like it's going to be challenging, but there's a beautiful gift on the other side of this. So keep the faith, and we'll see you soon.